Community Viewpoint.
And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host for this segment of Community Viewpoint. And since we're one camera shy, you already see who my guest is. It's the lovely Paula Elefante, who will be talking to us once again about one thing that she has a great passion about besides the recycling, the powwow. But first things first, the powwow is not going to be until the
November.
November.
Yeah.
But prior to that, things have to happen to make the Prump Social Powwow work. So tell us how this works, and tell us how long you've been involved with this too.
I moved here 19 years ago, and I have been involved with putting on this powwow for 17 years. This is my 17th year.
Yes.
So, and time's flying so fast.
And you're dedicated to do something for that length of time.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate that, because it's grown through the years and hasn't withered away like so many other things here. Not you and me, but other things here.
We're withering, huh?
Withering. But I have to tell you, you've done a good job by keeping the powwow going as well as it is, in spite of the weather, because weather can be a factor for the powwow too. But we'll talk about that later in the year.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
I'll be back in the beginning of November to talk about powwow. But today I want to talk about two things.
Yes.
And like you said, to keep the powwow going. To keep the powwow going, it takes money. And part of our fundraising efforts we started 10 years ago telling people, please, don't throw these away. Your ink cartridges from your printers at home. Don't throw them away. So we have boxes like this. I took out of one of our boxes that's at the library. We have boxes around town. We have boxes at the library. We have boxes at the Chamber of Commerce. We have a box at Your Fingertips Nail Salon. We have, I saw that. We have a box at American First National Bank, right by where their popcorn machine is. We have a box in there. I should have brought a box in, but they're only about 18 inches tall and maybe 6-7 inches deep and maybe 9 inches wide, and it'll say on there recycling. So for 10 years we've been recycling these, and we get anywhere from 5 cents to 25 cents to $1.25, okay, for these cartridges. I think it depends on the demand and what they need. And the companies that we recycle with, they then will fill them up again with ink, so then you get refurbished ink cartridges. You can actually buy it from these companies, refurbished ink cartridges. And a lot of people like to do that. So that's one way. And the thing about it is that each year, more than 350 million of these things end up in the landfill. And I first got interested in recycling because, Mr. Environment here. And I learned from him that because of this kind of plastic, it takes 1,000 years. 1,000 years for this stuff to break down. And I'm like, wow, that's 40 generations. So, look to the future 40 generations from now, and our more great-grandchildren and go, what the hell is the matter with these people? So 1,000 years for this stuff to break down. And not only as it's breaking down, it's the toxic chemicals that go into making these cartridges are polluting our groundwater. It's polluting the soil. It's making it
toxic.
Toxic. Yeah, and then I learned that it takes almost a gallon of oil to make one of these, okay? A gallon of oil to make one of these little cartridges, you know? That's a lot of oil. You know? And then the manufacturing of a single toner, that's like the business, you see the businesses use, they're about this long. I didn't bring one with me. I've got them in the car, but releases 4.8 kilograms of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Tell me what that means.
It's bad. It's bad for the environment, for us being able to breathe. It's going to change the weather patterns. It's going to be hotter. Don't get me started on that too. But you cannot keep on doing that. You have to have the perfect blend of carbon dioxide, oxygen in the atmosphere, or
we hear about that for plant life.
Yes, things will change drastically in the future. Like I said, don't get me started on that. But
yeah, but you're the expert.
Yes, it's not my program today. It's for you.
Yeah, but I just want people to know
and
that
I
how.
commend you fully for that. Thank you for taking this and running with it.
Well,
really
it's the
appreciate that.
committee. It's the powwow's done this for two things. One, it's to help save our environment, and I tell people, help me save our environment one cartridge at a time. One cartridge at a time. Take it and drop it in one of my boxes. But you know, many of these we can't recycle for money. So we don't just go, we don't get any money for those. No, I ship them back to the manufacturers, and this is the kinds of I want to find this one particular page. I take boxes that I'm shipping back to HP or Xerox or Minolta or Brother or, you know, the different companies. And if I have a label, because we're not going to pay for postage, if I have a label, which HP's really good about, Brother's good about, I'll sit there and I'll repackage this stuff, and then I take it over to the UPS store, and I end up with like this. You know, shipping receipts, you know. And so we keep those going back. And any of the cartridges that we can't ship back to the manufacturer, like if they're remanufactured cartridges, once a month, I'll make a trip to Office Depot, and they have a recycling program there. And they'll give me credit for recycling 10 pieces of plastic, and I'll go in there and I'll have 130 or I'll have 89 or I'll have whatever I have. It's usually close to 100 pieces that I haven't been able to ship back to manufacturers or recycle for money. And they'll go, well, you know, we're only going to give you credit for 10. And I go, yeah, I know. And they said, well, would you like to take some home? And I go, no, I'll be back next month with the same amount. So it's just important. It's important to us. It's important to our lives. It's important for our children and our grandchildren. So that's one of the ways we've been making money. Not a lot. But since we started this program in 2009, we have recycled about 15,000 pieces of plastic.
That's a lot of pounding the pavement there, lady. Going, picking them up, traveling.
We do. Oh, realty executives. They are amazing. Them and the county assessor. Okay, they don't have boxes there, but that's two businesses that give us their cartridges. Okay, and realty executives, every month I'll go by there and I'll have anywhere from 15 to 20 cartridges, toners. It's awesome. Thank you, realty executives. And our county assessor, our sheriff's department, I get them from there. I get them from the recorder. I'm trying to get all the businesses on board. So in the second way, this year we're doing a first for a fundraiser. The BFW is hosting a dinner on Saturday, July 6th at the BFW Post there on Homestead. And it's chicken fried steak, which I absolutely love. And it's a fundraiser for the powwow. It's going to be a starter. It's a Kickstarter. Many people don't realize that with no recognized tribes in this town, there's no reservation here, there's no smoke shop, there's no Indian casino, there's no monies paying for this powwow. We have to raise those monies and try and get sponsors and, you know, and really scrimp on the pennies, so to make it happen.
So you have country fried steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, choice of brown or
Yeah,
white.
brown gravy or white gravy.
Corn and rolls.
Corn and rolls.
Yes.
And then we have one of the guys on our committee, the ladies at his church are going to be baking cakes and pies, and so that the dessert, you could get a slice of cake or a slice of pie. I think it's $1 a slice. So that helps with the fundraising. And then we've got the brown bag surprise raffle. So we'll have brown bags, and there'll be something in the bags. You just don't know what it is.
And these are on sale for
We
$15
did
a
with
piece?
this year. People have asked about our shirts, but it won't say staff. One year we had a oops, and we
Everybody was staff.
got a whole lot of shirts, and then we have a whole lot of people in this community that are staff, because that's what happened. So we will have some shirts available, and for those, if we don't have your size or if we run out, we will be ordering more.
Okay.
We can take your order, and we'll be set up to do that.
So this is going to be happening July 6th, which is a Saturday at the VFW
Yeah,
Post.
it's the Saturday after the 4th of July.
From 4 till 7.
You come in any time between 4 and 7. You don't have to come in at 4 and figure you're going to stay until 7 unless you just really want to stay and enjoy our company.
And this is to make sure the powwow happens. It's a new way to raise money, and it won't raise money unless you come and eat.
Yeah.
And the donation is suggested at being at $10 on up.
That's
Whatever you
true,
can
because
afford. Yes, please.
we have to pay for that food that's being cooked
Yeah.
and served, and so the suggested minimum donation is $10, and I've been told that, you know, some people might
Pay more.
pay a little more, and
Yes.
that's okay.
So,
We are thankful for
yes,
that.
so we will see you again later in the summer to talk more about the powwow. This is the prelude to that. This is recycling, and I'm just floored about you carrying on the messages as well as you do, and I really appreciate that.
It's important.
It is. I know that, you know that, and we get the word out to the people. We're almost out of time. Let's throw the flyer up there. So what
Yeah,
this
we
is all
just got
about.
these yesterday. This is for this year's powwow.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Community Viewpoint.